Hey, welcome back. So I'm going to be continuing with my documentation for now, and I'm going to be starting with a very odd commercial that aired on NBA TV on April 9th of 2017. And as you can see from the still shot, this commercial is being aired during a Lakers and Timberwolves game. Now, during the commercial, Steph is getting into a recovery tank, and shortly after, he starts drowning in deep water. He then starts screaming until he's lifted back up, and then they show him walking towards a light. And the theme of water is important because it pertains to birth. Now, while this commercial is airing and while the game is going on, the Lakers as a franchise are on 3,259 wins. And that is important because that is the 461st prime number, a number that's absolutely a reference to Genesis 46, verse 1 of the Bible, that very important sacrificial verse. And after the Lakers win, the Timberwolves record is getting to 11-29 away, while the Lakers are picking up 25-16 in the win columns, and those are the four values of pi in Gematria. Now, there was another game where the lights went out, and it was a playoff game between the 76ers and the Hawks. Mr. Maxey here got the inbounds pass, and the lights went out with 1 minute and 59 seconds left in the game. But it is a 48-minute game, and the real reason the lights went out at this moment in time is because it was 46 minutes and 1 second into the game, which is another reference to Genesis 46, verse 1. And the man who caught the inbounds pass in Gematria has overlap in all four ciphers with Steph. And it's also important to note that Steph's brother played for this team in Philly. I also thought it was interesting the total score is like the 239th prime number, which is 1,499. And momentarily I'm going to go over why that may be important. Now there's two dates coming up on the Gregorian calendar this year, May 28th and May 29th, that are very interesting because of how they break down numerically. May 28th can break down numerically to a value that is like 329, and I spoke about the importance of that previously. The 329th prime number is 2,207, which is like 22 divided by 7. And the way you draw that out of the date is that the 32nd triangular number is 528, like the 5th month and the 28th day. And the 9th prime number is 23, like the year. And the next day, May 29th, can break down to values of 23 and 23, and then 9 and 9, and even 3 and 3. And the way you draw that numerical connection is that if you square 23, you get a value of 529, like the 5th month and the 29th day. And again, 23 can break down to 9 and 9, and then 3 and 3. And just to show you an example of how they projected this pairing of numbers, this is a post from ESPN, which is really just meant to display the number 23 twice. And then they also reported on LeBron's 23 remaining games for the season. And in knowing how important the number 329 is, I took a look at the games on March 29th, and I thought it was interesting that the Bucks won a game with a total of 285 points total in the game, just like the 28th day of the 5th month. And the Kings clinched a playoff spot on this day, and they did so with wins of 23 and 46. And that is like the 68th triangular number, 2,346. And I spoke about the importance of 68 in part 1. But it is also the Kings' 38th season in Sacramento. I also find them interesting because in 2015, Clay had a game against them where he scored 37 in the third, which is just a reference to the 68th prime number, 337. Just to support what I've been talking about, this is straight from the entertainment industry. This is a film called Life of Pi, which is a reference to the mathematical concept. And it is about a guy that gets stranded in water for 227 days. like 22 divided by 7. And he just so happens to be 16 years old, just like the value of pi. And then his father names him after a pool from France. So again, you have another water reference, and in gematria, the full name of that pool has a gematria value of 285. And again, 22 divided by 7 is 3.14, then 2, 8, and 5. Now, just to show you the importance of what I've been talking about, the Grizzlies and the Warriors matched up on March 18th, and they came into the game with a home record of 28 and 5. And after they won the game, they had a home record of 29 and 5, just like the 28th day of the 5th month and the 29th day of the 5th month. And this is just to cover that very important game where he broke the all-time three-point record. There was a theme of 9 in the game because when the Warriors won this game, they're picking up win number 23, which is the 9th prime number. They were picking up their 9th away win. And then 3 squared is 9. And then their record could be read as 523, which is the 99th prime number. And it was Steph's 599th career win. And that has a mathematical relationship with 29. The 29th prime number is 109. And the score is actually 10-9 before he hit the record-breaking 3. But the guy he hit it over, Alec Burks, in gematria, has the same value, 29, just like 3. But the important connection to make is that in part 1, I showed you that his logo really just reads 148, but it's just as important sometimes to read numbers backwards. You get a value of 841, which has a square root of 29. And lastly, I just wanted to show a few more examples of how they've been projecting the number 16. Just some articles. The Mavs being a 16-point favorite. Ken Griffey Jr. is 53 years old and hasn't played in the MLB in over a decade. The 16th prime number is 53, etc. Putting NBA stars on 16 seeds. Just overall projecting the number 16, which is in relation to pi. That is everything. I appreciate it. Until next time.